All right, before we proceed, I just thought I could do a quick recap of what we've learned so far in SEO. In that way, when you do your project, it'll become a lot easier. We first started with understanding how Google search works. And within how Google search works, we listed like three important functions. One is called crawl, two is called index, and the third one is called serve or ranking. Okay, so once you publish your website or content, Google's program will crawl and take a look at your website's content. It's going to take that content, take a copy of your web page, and put it on its database called indexing. And this is where the processing happens. It's going to categorize your website under a specific niche or in a location, etc. Okay, and then when somebody goes to Google and searches for something relevant, Google is not going to go look at all the websites on the internet at that point. It just goes to its database, pulls up the most relevant result, and shows it on the search results. That is ranking right there. Okay, and then we learned about the different types of SEO, right? Number one is called on-page SEO. This is where you have complete control. You're going to use the keywords that people are using to search on Google, and you're going to use those keywords appropriately within your content so that there is relevance. Okay, this is all about relevancy. The second one is about popularity, and that is off-page SEO. So once you created your content, used all the keywords, now it's time for you to get backlinks from other websites. Other websites should point links to your website, and that is an indication to Google that the content on your website is worth ranking. And finally, there is the technical SEO. And this is where you determine the page speeds, the robots.txt file, and canonical and duplicate content and all of that, right? Your website needs to be crawled and indexed by Google, right? So you want to make sure that from a technical standpoint, your website is working fine and it's crawlable, indexable, and rankable. That's what this is about. Actually, I missed the last one. The local SEO, if you're looking at a specific area to target, like plumbers in your location, or electricians, or AC technicians, or hardware store near me, those kinds of keywords come under local SEO. Okay, these are the four things that we discussed. We also discussed about the different techniques that SEOs employ. One is called white hat. If you follow Google's guidelines, then it's called white hat practice. If you look at exploiting the loopholes, of the Google program, then it's called black hat SEO. You're trying to rank your websites quickly, but you're not taking the ethical approach. You're looking at shortcuts. That's what black hat SEO is about. And if you're somewhere in between, it's called gray hat. So these are some of the things that we discussed. And also we went in depth with keyword research. While doing keyword research, here are a few things that you want to bear in mind. You would want to target long tail keywords, because these are the keywords that have high intent and low competition. Okay, long tail keywords. Number two, you understood about the different types of keywords within keyword research. Before we got into that, we learned about how keywords can be informational in nature, commercial in nature, transactional in nature, or it could be navigational in nature as well. Okay, so when somebody is searching for how to tie a tie, you see, that's informational keyword, right? They're looking for some kind of answer to their question. A commercial keyword is when people are trying to determine what kind of products to buy. Okay, they're not ready to make a purchase yet, but they're still considering, right? They're in the consideration stage. So things like best smartphones reviews, or best smartphones in Canada in 2024. All those are commercial in nature because the intent of the person is eventually to make a purchase. Okay, that's commercial transactions. Transactional keywords are keywords like buy smartphone in New York City or whatever, right? It's very clear that the person wants to make a purchase because the word buy is associated in the search query. And navigational keywords are when you're looking for a specific page on a specific website. For example, I'm looking at Canon camera, Canon DSLR in Amazon. Okay, so I'd go to Google and search for Canon mirrorless Amazon. Okay, a search query like that shows that the person already knows what he or she wants, which is Canon mirrorless camera, but they're also clear about where they want to get it from, Amazon, right? So that's called a navigational keyword, where you want the user to go to a specific page on a website. Okay, so that's about the basic groundwork to be done about keyword research, just understanding keyword before you start doing the research itself, right? When we talk about the research as a process, I told you how you will first brainstorm. So you're going to think like a customer and list some keywords down, and then you're going to do a SERP analysis. Okay, you're going to pop that each search query that you listed in the brainstorm, you're going to put it on Google and see what kind of search results come up, and in those results, what are the types of keywords that your competitors have used in the title, in the description, and so on and so forth. That's SERP analysis. Step number 3 is Google's auto suggestion. You type something in Google and see what shows up in the drop down, like the popular searches. And then there's also Google related. When you look at the search engine results page, as you scroll down to the bottom, usually you'll see that Google is going to list a bunch of search queries that are used by people. Okay, these are your Google related search queries, and you can also use Google Trends to determine the trend of a specific keyword. And finally, you collate the data and determine the search volume. You can use this, you can do the search volume by using Google's keyword planner tool. All these have been discussed in detail in the classes. I've dedicated an entire session just for keyword research. Please watch that to understand this better. All right. Now, once you've done your keyword research, you've come up with a list of keywords. Okay. At the very least, you'd want to have your primary and secondary keywords, right? Up to 5 keywords per page, let's say. Then it's your it's all about moving on to the on-page SEO elements, right? There are things like title, meta description, the URL, the site architecture, headings, the content itself. We spoke about images, image optimization, links, which is internal linking and external linking, was discussed in detail. We spoke about sitemaps. I spoke about breadcrumbs. Okay, and yeah. So these are some of the things that you'd want to bear in mind when doing on-page SEO. Then comes off-page SEO. Off-page SEO is all about getting backlinks from other relevant websites. Okay, so when you get backlinks from other websites, you should look for, like I said, relevancy. That's number 1. Number 2, domain authority. Okay, you don't want to get backlinks from spammy websites. If you do, remember, it's called a bad neighborhood. Getting backlinks from spammy websites will have adverse effects on your SEO, okay, on your website's ranking. So you should find out if a website is relevant to your niche, and number two, find if that website is high on authority, domain authority, and then you can reach out to them to build backlinks. And then we spoke about technical SEO. In technical SEO, we spoke about robots.txt. We've spoken about core web vitals. This includes things like FCP, first contentful paint, that's what it is, and then largest contentful paint, etc. Again, these are the things that I've discussed in the session. We also discussed about canonical URLs. It's all about duplication of data, etc. Alright, so these are the few things that were discussed, and for you to be able to successfully complete your project, if you remember these things and if you understood these concepts, you should be able to pretty easily do it.